Okay, welcome back to episode 38 of Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm your host, Stephen Edwards, and we are still looking to find certainty and meaning in all the chaos and mayhem. And hopefully a lot of what we're sharing here is helping us move in that direction, right? We still got a ways to go. So we've talked about how this idea of a new religion came about from my book a number of years ago, and the song Black Velvet by Alana Miles. And in the song it talks about a new religion, if you please, right? So what is this new religion and what is it all about? And we said, when you talk about a new religion, you probably don't know this exactly, but right now there are over 4,200 different religions in the world. And Dr. Phil might say, how's that working for you so far? Are people happy, fulfilled? Well, there are definitely some people that are happy and fulfilled. However, I would say they're probably more like the exception to the rule than the rule, right? So generally speaking, religion is not working in the way that I believe it was originally intended, and that it's been hijacked, as we'll see in a minute. People say that, all the wars and atrocities are wars. I mean, there's just been, religious wars throughout time, right? And even today, when we look at what's going on in Israel with the Jews and Hamas, it goes on and on from there, right? With what's going on with Iran, and it all seems to have some religious context, at least right now, right? Or certain countries or certain regimes don't even believe in God, and then they fight with regimes that do. So a lot of people believe that religion is the cause of wars and death and destruction. But the reality is, at the core of every religion, it talks about love, kindness, and compassion. And so really, religions have been hijacked, right? And been taken hostage by people who want to further their own good, to further themselves at the expense of others. That they have adapted and taken religion and put in there rules and laws that had nothing to do with the original tenets, values, and principles that each religion was based upon. And the challenge was, a lot of these religions started in different parts of the world at different times. People began to believe this was the right way to bind back to God. And when they came across other people from other cultures and they bumped up against each other, and they had a different set of beliefs that sounded different, using different words and terminology, even though in essence they meant the same, they made them wrong. And now we were living in a world of separation, right? So religion has been hijacked and taken hostage. Many people, when they get into these religions, in fact, I would maybe even say the majority of people, recognize the similarities. They want peace, but they've been hijacked by those people who have louder voices, are more aggressive, and tend to want to have wars and fight. So religion and its origins, and what are its meanings? Well, the word religion is originally derived from the Latin word religio, and then it moved into religare and religiere. Now, the meaning of all this is to bind back to God, to bind back to the oneness, to reconnect, to bind back to the source. We've given this source different names, and then we fight about the names. But it really is to reconnect to the oneness that is everything, the intelligence that flows through everything. We have personified that intelligence, and it's not a person. God doesn't have an agenda. Some people say God has an agenda, but it's not agenda, all right? So a new religion is simply a new way to bind back to God or the source, right? To the universe. What does universe mean? It means one song. The oneness, we're all part of the oneness. Listen, Linda, if God created everything in the universe, what did God create it from? From God. Okay, all right. So, if God created everything in the universe and created it from God's self, then everything is God. Yes? Yes, God is everything. God is everything, everywhere, all at once. How synchronistic is that? That's the name of the series. Remember when I first came up with the name of the series, it's because I overheard a title of a movie. I hadn't even seen the movie. And it just went into my heart and intuition and said, that's the name for the series. I had no idea this was going to come up. Sure. Right? So if we're all part of the oneness, there is no separation. Well, it looks like everything's separate, Stephen. Your hand is separate than I'm separate. You're there, I'm here. No, we're all part of a big giant soup. If you move your hand in front of your face, you feel the molecules moving. You're moving molecules. Therefore, those molecules are attached to your hand. When you move those molecules, there is a cause and effect. It moves other molecules, which move other molecules, which move other molecules. It's called karma. It's the circle of life. What I do for you, I also do for me. What I fail to do for you, I also fail to do for me. What does Lakin Lakesh mean? I am you, you are me, we are one. Namaste, the divinity in me. Aha, now we're getting into another word, divinity. But Stephen, that's religious. No, it isn't. Religion hijacked the word divinity. It's separate from religion. And it's separate from spirituality. Divinity is the source, the oneness, the I am, the God within you, the God within us all, the God that connects us all. We're connected by our divinity. So, wars have been created because we created a theology of separation. Your God is not my God. So you people are separate from me. You guys are wrong. No, we're not. Yes, you are. All right, let's fight over it. Let's kill each other over it. What? That doesn't make any sense. I know. It's nonsense. And yet it happens. People will die over their beliefs, let alone their convictions. And once they get to faith, and it's really registered in them, well, what do they say? All hell breaks loose, right? So once we have a theology of separation, that leads to the cosmology of separation, right? I'm here, you're there, we're separate, right? Society of separation. Well, you're from Texas. You don't know what you're talking about. That was supposed to be an Australian accent. Sorry about that. This is English accent, right? And so you're in America and you live over there. You're different than us, sort of thing. The sociology of separation. When you have this theology of separation, cosmology of separation, and sociology of separation, it leads to a pathology of destruction, right? We're all separate. So we're going to kill each other for stuff. We're going to compete with each other for stuff. There's only a limited amount of resources. Wait a second. What do you mean there's only a limited amount of resources? Well, look, what happened was God said, look, there's only so much stuff. Hold on a second. You said that God was omnipotent, omnipresent, created everything from God's self. What are you trying to tell me? God ran out of stuff? No, that's what you're trying to tell me. I'm trying to tell you there's an abundance of everything. Well, why is there not abundance of money? There is, we just print it. Why don't I have enough? I don't know. Maybe it's because you don't believe you have enough. No, you check my bank account. Well, maybe there isn't enough in your bank account because you believe that in the first place. Huh? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you are creating your reality. No. I'm not. Okay, well, if you believe you're not creating your own reality, then you don't create your own reality and you're a victim. So you're creating that reality. Or you believe you are creating your reality, then you can take responsibility and do something about it. And you can change something, which is what we're going to look at, how you do that. Okay, so we need to go back to the sources. The source, not the hind source. We need to remember who we really are. Who am I? We'll get to that. I'm trying to tell you, all right? We need to reconnect to our divinity. I'm with you. Let's go. Okay. This is the second episode of A New Religion, if you please. In the next episode, we're going to go even deeper into how you reconnect. And then we're going to get into how you begin to manifest the life that you truly desire. In the meantime, sapere ord, dare to be wise.